I was
I'm still smiling.
in Norway when they ask you in Norway when they ask you how you are, the accept answer is I'm up and I'm not crying.
Yeah, that would be me. I'm up and I'm sober at the moment.
I was going to say, what was that? George Bernard Shaw. Some, said something about women come up to him and said, "You sir are drunk." He said, "Madam are ugly, but in the morning I shall be sober."
I love that. I have heard that before. That's a good one. Yeah. And choo-choo. Yeah.
I saw every 6 months he gave he said, not yet.
Yeah, we will. Absolutely. I actually like it. And you can go no clue. They don't even remember. Yeah, no, I do want to get that. Yeah.
Can I say a word about back in the day?
Huh?
Can I say a word about back in the day?
You already did it on your phone too, by the way. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
Well, it's my program. I want to.
That's why I was asking for you.
I arrange it. Yeah.
Still not.
Okay.
Don't go too far away.
I will.
Um, okay, just save me seat. If you'd like me to say something about people reporting thefts and how important it is, just call me up. I'll be ready.
When's the letter going out?
As soon as I am away for a couple of hours,
Which isn't often.
which isn't often, yeah, because of the chronic. I'm behind, but it should be this week.
I still am concerned with that, and no way that I would not do it, but I kind of worry that we say, go check all your jewelry, everybody check your jewelry, and I'm going to get a storm of people that don't remember. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and in fact, we checked our jewelry. We're not sure there's something missing, so we're looking for our appraisal that we did before we came here.
Yeah.
So we're going to check that. Anyway, I won't mention that, and it's not in the letter.
It's the memory issue.
Yeah, I understand. Some people are insulted when you say that, so be careful.
Mm-hmm. I'm only saying that to you.
Well, we're not even.
I don't say it to them.
We don't have a memory.
Yeah.
Just normal memories are not great.
So tell me, after the council meeting Friday, the information that I'm going to share tonight, how did that receive?
Oh, great. Yeah, the idea of changing the locks and securing them and having cameras, great. And as you saw, it's in the meeting minutes, and so I think, those are.
Well, I'm sorry it took so long, but it took a lot of research and so much to look at.
Oh, sure.
And one asked me, well, how come you didn't tell us that? And I said, Because unfortunately, in here, I have 150 experts, and I would have been inundated with, oh, my son-in-law is a locksmith, that kind of stuff. That's why it was like I just wanted to keep it down low and get it done with professionals.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me to the dinner.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, it's good for you to spend time with them.
Sure.
Oh,
Will do.
you didn't respond? I gotta remember.
I sent an email on it.
Oh, you did. I missed it. Sorry. Later, you must have just done it.
Yeah.
Because I'm keeping a
At
list.
3 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I need a list for them for Friday.
Yeah, I sent it out.
Most everybody except you right now are coming.
Good.
Yeah, it'll be good. And it's easy. It's right down the street.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck.
Sure.
Now, all I'll say is to make sure to report to you and particularly to the police. You need to let them know that they need to spend some effort.
Yeah, and I need a case number from my state report. What are you telling me? We're getting there. Trying to be late. Huh?
Sound is.
How do we know? I haven't said anything yet. Yeah.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi, John.
I just want to say hello, let you look important here with our crowd. Look, it's been a nice turnout today.
That's why I remind them that they
Oh, it's real important that 3:30 call. Stuff happens. You know,
Yeah.
people forget.
Yeah, I know. That's why I do it.
I had a lady on an hour and a half tonight. I said he doesn't get paid for an hour and a half.
Test 1 2 test. Whoa. Test 1 2.
Is Carol Lee listening? Huh? Oh, you did? Shall we try somebody in the apartments? Am I synced? I'm not synced. Why am I not synced? I'm not synced.
Okay, any folks out there in TV land, can you give Bob or Dan a call at the bar and tell them you can hear me and see me? 3714 for the extension. Please give us a buzz. Let us know if you're receiving the signal. Thank you. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. Talk on. Trying to get a response from the room. Talk amongst yourselves.
Somebody's listening.
I'm up to that first call.
Amazing.
Hillary can hear you.
Oh, Hillary, thank you. I will sing a song for you. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. Hey. Be nice. Corley's on. Thank you, Corley's. Appreciate it. All right, we're ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Have a good crowd. Thank you. I think when I blurt it out on 3:30, it helps. We get everybody up. Wake you up from your nap. Well, hi there. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. What a gorgeous day out there. And it's going to be nice tomorrow too. And then we get rain, I guess, this weekend. Lovely. It continues. So we have our two ladies come up to give you the important announcements before I talk about nothing important. Penny, join on us, please.
Hello, everybody. Hey, have you all noticed that we're getting ready for the Move More in 24 challenge? I know about 80 of you have signed up for t-shirts. Tomorrow is the very last day to sign up and get a t-shirt. You can always sign up without getting a t-shirt. I know some people do not like wearing the t-shirts. That's okay. I won't force a t-shirt upon you. But do sign up if you want to participate. I'm going to pull that sign-up sheet. It's right over there tomorrow morning at 9:30. So if your name is not on there with your t-shirt size and your color, no t-shirt for you. Okay? And what do you get for signing up and participating? Well, we have all sorts of fun things. This year, our sign-up sheet or our tracking sheets are different. We are going to turn them in every week. And on there will be 7 things to do throughout the week where you get a stamp. So you turn in your sheet, and if you've done the 7 things and you get the stamp, you get 8 entries into a drawing for fabulous prizes. They will be gift cards, and they'll be good gift cards. So we want to reward you for participating, okay? Because this is a campaign about moving. So all movement is good movement. We are going to have some tip sheets on the back of the sheets. Things like if you are sitting or you're sedentary for more than an hour, move your body. If you only move for 3 minutes minimum, that's good. But breaking up the time we're sedentary, very important for our overall health. Okay, so another perk you get, we are going to have the big photo. Those are posted in the breezeway hallway. You can be in the big photo. We're going to do a farmer's market, and we are going to have a finish line lunch. So we have all sorts of nice perks for you for participating, besides your intrinsic rewards. Okay, and then on April 24th, we will have the t-shirt distribution party. That will be on the first floor this year. Nancy is making her fancy drinks for us. So that will be 3:30 to 4:30 on the 24th. And I think that's about it for that one. Okay, there's something, one of the residents came up with an idea. Battle of the Tri-City Bands. Get some of the jazz bands in the area to come up, have them perform, have some judges, and we have a battle of the bands here on campus. I said, fun idea. How do we make it happen? Well, this resident did some research, has some leads, but we need committee. So we're looking at doing it at the auditorium patio next door, October 12th or 19th. But, and it is George Matheson who did the exploratory work. I have his name in my notes here, but he does not want to be the head of the committee. So if you can help in any way, if you have any connections to any of the bands in the area, he would like to see them from Newark, Fremont, Union City, and maybe even Hayward. We're not picky. But if you do want to help out, let me know. Yes, Larry. Wait. So jazz band, because they're smaller. So yeah, they will be the jazz bands. Okay, so if you want more, yes, Tom.
Can we volunteer now?
You can volunteer now,
I
yes.
volunteer now.
Thank you, Tom. Okay. And we have pub trivia April 19th. That's a Sunday. That is at 4 o'clock right here in the Turkey Roost. Complimentary beverages to all players. Come early, get your drink, get your team, and have some fun with us. Have a great evening, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Penny. Good stuff happening. Carolee, what you got for us that's exciting or not exciting?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Here we are again at another chat already. That fast. Okay, we have been having high school students call us more this year than ever before. And they all want to come and do something. A lot of them want to do tech stuff or something with us. And they want to know, what do we want to do? And I say, well, this is great. What do you want to do? And they say, well, what do you want to do? And I say, well, what do you want to do? So we need some ideas of what you want to do. Now, is there something you've always wanted to do and we can partner you up with high school students and they can help kick it off for you? Is there something you would like them to bring to us? Something new that we've never seen or heard before that's kind of up their alley? That would be fun. Tell me about it. I want to know, because these guys are excited. They want to come up here. They want to meet you. They want to hang out with you. They want to party with you. But I kind of need a direction of a way to go. And we have a lot of students coming up and doing tech stuff now. So I'm wondering if there's, sorry, I have something on my nose. Something else that we want them to do. They're excited. I want to keep their enthusiasm going and I want to bring it here. So if you have an idea, call Nancy, call me, and we'll connect with these guys and get them up here. Okay? Good. All right. I don't know if you notice, we're having a party tomorrow. And we're going to be Casablanca at Acacia Creek. It's going to be fun. A little Moroccan, a little Arabian Nights. We got it all going on tomorrow. So come on up at 4 o'clock. Rick's Cafe is going to be open. We're going to have a little gambling going. Try your luck. See if you can win some good old bucks to the general store. Then the dining room's going to open. Music's going to be playing. We got stuff going on in the dining room that's going to knock your socks off. So come in your party wear. Be ready to have a good time. We're going to do it. Okay. All right. Also, we had some people that have been walking by the office and they see that great display down on the table. And they say, oh man, you know, last Saturday, Nancy played that movie Casablanca and I missed it. There's a rumor that there was a Acacia Creek mock of Siskel and Ebert, AKA Carol and Penny, that did a review on the movie. I missed it. That sounds so cool. Guess what? Watch party tomorrow, 11 a.m. in the boardroom. If you want to see Penny and Carol, come to the boardroom. If you would like to see Casablanca before the party tomorrow night, come to the boardroom tomorrow at 10. Okay? Oh, 11. Sorry, it's at 11, not 10. Don't come at 10. You'll be sitting there a while. Okay. April 16th, we are having an Acacia Creek board retreat here up at Siminoff. But at 4 o'clock, the board members are going to come right down here and have cocktail hour with you. So come on up, enjoy your favorite beverage, and rub elbows with the big wigs, the board members. Ask them any question that you want. They want to get to know you. Come on up at 4 o'clock next Tuesday. On the 19th, which is that Friday, we have Harlan Olson coming back to play the piano. Now, if you came last month, he was here with his friend Kara, who played the cello, and they did duets up here. He's coming by himself this time. He really, really enjoyed his time here. He is the student that plays at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. So he's coming back on, he'll be here at 10:30 on Friday the 19th, right up here. He is very good. And he's only 12. Can you believe that? Yeah, he's only 12. 12. And he's been playing for 6 years. So he started when he was 6. And he's playing at the San Francisco, sorry, I have something on my face, Conservatory of Music. Superb piano player. So come on up. And then, does anybody know what April 22nd is? Earth Day, ding, 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 ding. We got a winner over here. Do you know what the theme this year is? Planet versus plastics. You got it, Audrey. Okay, we are celebrating that this year down in the lobby. And we are going to celebrate with root beer floats. However, you have to bring your own mug and spoon. No plastic is served. So if you want a root beer float, you got to bring your own cup and spoon. We are going to have fun demonstrations by residents. We're going to get tips on how not to be so wasteful, how not to use so much plastic, all kinds of great fun things. So please mark that on your calendar. Meet us down in the lobby, April 22nd, 2 o'clock. April 25th, we have high school students coming. They want to play games. They want to play games with us. They're coming for a family fun game night. So we're going to have a social up here. It's going to start at 4:15 because of school. Because of school, we're going to start at 4:15 instead of 4:30. They're going to be up here playing games everywhere. So come up and join them. They're super excited and they got some fun ideas of games they want to play. And we'll be serving your favorite beverage. So there is that too. Okay, April 26th, TGIF. And we are going to have music with Narbe and Jonathan this time. So come on up and enjoy them. Enjoy a fun cocktail. Enjoy the good music. They really do play good music too. And feel free to make a donation if you'd like. Last but not least, on April 30th at 2 o'clock, we will learn about heart valve disorders in adults. Yeah, I know, way to end the month, right? All the fun, and then we got to learn about heart disease. Okay, so Dr. Agarwal, who is a cardiologist at Washington Hospital, will be here to talk all about heart valve disorders in adults. You'll explore the complexities of these conditions and their impact on cardiovascular health. Sounds exciting. They're going to be here, so mark that on your calendar. And that rounds up April. Yes, sir.
The home has that scheduled for the auditorium on the same day and the same time.
Yes, they.
Going to,
So no, they have it wrong on their calendar, so they're changing their flyers. I talked to Liz today. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, because they're getting ready to do their dining room over there. Okay.
Friday, Terry, town forum.
Yeah, the forum on Friday is going to be Terry Quigley, who is the president and CEO of Masonic Home. She's just new there. She's only been here since July, which is like, what, 9 months on the job. So she's coming over to share some insights at what's happening over at Masonic Home, answer any questions you might have. 10 o'clock dining room,
Friday,
Friday,
day after tomorrow.
day after tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute.
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
I saw a lot of money with Chuck's face on it.
I was not asked about that, by the way.
Can you tell me what the Chuck's bucks are for?
The Chuck's Bucks is your lucky gambling money for tomorrow. You'll learn all about it tomorrow. They're worth millions, billions.
But you can't buy a pack of smokes with it, so. All right, thanks, Curly. Appreciate it. Yeah, Terry is doing a forum on Friday at 10 a.m. If you're interested on what's going on next door and all the things that she's been working on since she came on board in July, which is a lot, a lot. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your updates. And thank Nancy. I don't know if I did last time, but Nancy has finally figured this thing out. And after years of working on it, we apparently are now synced with the picture and the sound in the apartments for the chat. And so I so appreciate this battle that she's been fighting for a long time. Sorry? Not synced here. No, we can't sync it here, but it's synced in the apartments. Yes? Yes. Don't ask me why. I have no idea, Laurel. It's like way up here. Oh, she says they'd be synced, but there is that delay. And down there, they don't know. If you're in the apartment, you don't know there's a delay. So look at either one, but don't look at both. Don't look at me and All right, let's start. I have a lot of stuff, much to Nancy's chagrin. First of all, we have breaking news. This is breaking news. How many watch the news in the morning? How many watch the news on TV in the morning? I got to tell you, I get the biggest kick out of, okay, we have this story, But we have to have this person out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in the Bay Area, to tell this story, and you can't see anything behind them or what's going on. So we're sending, as we speak now, we are sending a news team down to the East Gate so that we have live film of this. But just breaking, we have a problem with our voice call box on the East Gate for access. The fob works, the card will work, the voice call is not working, so don't press it and expect anybody to answer. On the East Gate only, the West Gate's working. But you can get in, just use your fob or your card to open the gate. Okay. Breaking news. News team on their way as we speak for film at 11. All right. The big elephant in the room. What is it?
Dishwasher.
So as of 11 o'clock this morning, I have been told by the factory in Tennessee that the dishwash machine is being shipped tomorrow. I'm just telling you, I've been told that. I don't believe a damn thing until it happens, since it was only supposed to be 2 to 3 weeks in the first place. But I am also told I'm going to get a tracking number tomorrow, which will give me a date of arrival. And just so you know, we've already worked with our vendor here locally, County Supply, and we have an installer set up, ready to go the day that thing hits the tarmac outside the loading dock. So we will move as fast as we can to get that thing put in and get us back to our china. Tomorrow night for the anniversary dinner, we rented china again and glassware like we did for Easter, just so we have a nice evening. Yeah, the chef's happy about that. So, I'll give you more information when I find out. If I get a tracking number, I'm going to feel a little bit better about it. Tomorrow night, as you heard already, but I have to say something about this. You've seen the girls running around decorating. Casablanca, it's going to be a really fun night. It's going to be unusual. It's nothing like we've done before in here. I hope everybody's coming up. I hope you made your reservations and gave Madeline your entree choices. Great music, some really, really fun new entertainment we've never had in here before. At this point, and I say it hesitantly, but Jeffrey is here to MC, and we love having Jeffrey here when we can get him. So he'll be here, and there'll be a lot of fun. Yes, there is gambling that's going to happen. And yes, the dollars that they made has my picture on it, so I don't want to see him stuck on the dartboard in the game room. What else? I actually watched Casablanca last weekend. When's the last time anybody watched the movie Casablanca? Oh my God, it's been years since I've seen it. It was really fun to watch it. And quite frankly, I tried to rent a white double-breasted tuxedo this weekend, and nobody has one. So unfortunately, I don't get to stand out there and say, "Here's looking at you." Thank you, kid. Here's looking at you, kid. Anyway, it was really fun. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Play it again, Sam. Board cocktail reception. We already talked about that. Next Tuesday, 4 o'clock, we have a 2-day board retreat with all our members up at Siminoff. There's so many people there that we actually had to do it up there. But they'll be coming back for a tour pavilion at 3 o'clock and then up here at 4 o'clock on Tuesday to have a hosted reception with the residents. Everybody gets a chance to come up and chat with them and just have a good time from 4 to 5. The second phase of the long-term health care options that we had last month, it's been rough trying to find a date to have the second phase. As I promised, we would do a day of talking about the contracts, what services are available in the various contracts, the expenses, insurance. So I'm waiting for Joy Laura from next door to give me a confirmation on a date. We're looking at a couple of dates in the 3rd week of May. So look for that announcement. We'll have that meeting in the dining room again, and we'll finish it off giving you an opportunity to talk about the costs of the services, what the various contracts offer, because we have different contracts in here, and also insurance, which seemed to be a very hot topic when we met last time. They had Joy going for a long time at the end there. So we're going to make sure that she's here to be able to answer all your questions about insurance. Let's see, the next one is for all of you who walk the campus, that go out there and hike the hills and up to the event center and down to the gate. You probably have heard this, but I want to keep repeating it because our little friends are still around. We have a, that's supposed to face me? We have a family of wild boar. And Mama had 3 kids, 3, I think. Who's seen them?
Wild pigs.
Oh, okay, they're wild pigs, not wild boars. But it tastes the same. Okay, wild pigs. Anyway, they're around. They're in the flatlands. They're in the valleys. They're next to the event center. And you got to be really careful because she's got babies that are with them, and they can be extremely dangerous and very protective. So if you're out there walking the campus and you see them, please give them a very wide berth. You don't want to take any chances with them because they can be pretty nasty. They've been cited at least a dozen times that I've heard of. So again, just be careful if you happen to see them out and about. Mason Men's Breakfast held the first Friday of every month. The group that typically comes to this breakfast have decided that they really want to open it up to all men, Mason or non-Mason, at Acacia Creek or at Masonic Home. And we have a lot of men in here who are not Masons, but they want you to come and join them for breakfast on Fridays. So the name has been changed to Men's Breakfast, and it's open to all the men, and would love for you to come up and enjoy a nice breakfast and chat with the residents and just have a nice social moment. So it's the first Friday of every month in the dining room. We would welcome everybody to come up and join for that breakfast. And quite frankly, to be inclusive on this, if there's anybody out there in the audience that wants to start a women's breakfast, doesn't have to be Mason, non-Mason or Mason, I'm offering that to you too. You have an opportunity if you'd like to start up a women's breakfast. Certainly, let's try to put it together. If we get enough ladies that want to get together and chat and have breakfast, we will facilitate that for you. How about a women's who? Tea, a tea. Oh, actually, that's cheaper to have a women's tea. Yeah, I'll go for that. Do a tea. If that's something that you're interested in, have a chat with Carol Lee and we'll talk about putting something together. If you want to do a tea in the afternoon, yeah, I have no problem with that at all. Anything we can do to get you all together to chat and have fun and meet new friends, I love it. Let's do it. Okay, so that's all the mundane stuff. Now we're going to talk about the main topic tonight that I'm going to spend quite a bit of time on. And this is, and I actually rolled this out to the council last Friday, it's the new security plan for Acacia Creek. This is going to be a little involved and you're going to get some minutia and detail from me that you probably are not going to remember, but that's okay. I would like you to understand the path that I've been taking for the last 5 months and what the plan is that we've decided on for Acacia Creek. So about 5 months ago, I started the path of contacting hospitality security consultants for the hotel industry, Union City Police Department, various locksmiths who are in our area here, folks who are very closely tied into security. I wanted to educate myself on all the products that are available out in the market. I knew that we needed to do something to make a change here, but there are so many options available out there I wanted to make sure that it was the right decision that was made for Acacia Creek and for what we can do to improve our security in the building. Sorry? I'm not being heard? I'm not being heard?
He just wants to make sure you.
Oh, I was moving it around, sorry. During all this time, I've been having conversations again with these folks and actually visiting different locales. Okay. The little baby mic on the side must have popped off, sorry. You got it now. Ask them if they got it now. They got it now. It's coming up. Yeah, no? Yeah, no, yeah, no. Hello, hello.
No sound coming through.
Okay, hold on one second because I don't want to go through all of this and not everybody here. Anybody out there, tell me if you have sound?
Sound was off and now it's on.
The sound's back on.
Off again.
That's all I get. It just went red again.
Yeah, it's fine. Just go.
Huh?
It's fine. I unplugged it. We're just gonna go direct sound for now.
Oh, we're okay?
Yep.
Okay, we should have it back. She just did a workaround. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, guys. So, two basic decisions in the process of strictly locks. We'll talk about cameras later. With a lock situation, securing doors, that's my first priority. What is the best product that's available? Well, there are a lot of products available. There are a lot of high-tech products available, which include the cards, like many of you may be familiar with when you stay at a hotel. You've got cards, but some of them are magnetic strip cards. Some of them are RFID radio frequency cards. And then some use fobs. There are also other systems that use an app on your iPhone to get into your apartment at a hotel. I forget, now I'm trying to remember all the rest of them. There's the fob system. But what I have found through all of this, I don't want to get into minutiae, but through all of this, there was something that was inherently wrong or didn't work for us in this building, and mainly because of two things. One is that all of the high-tech stuff that we could install requires electricity to the doors, which means we'd have to wire electricity to all of the apartment doors. Or you could use a battery system, but the battery system, as you know, would be failing constantly. We'd be replacing batteries, you'd be locked out of your apartments. Not as secure and as as comfortable as you would like. Obviously, yes, it would take us lots of trips changing your batteries. Obviously, we can't put electricity into the doors. That would be a huge amount of money. That happens in the newer buildings. When they build them, they actually plan that into it. So the high-tech systems were pretty much taken out of the picture. There is a cost factor too, and I will confess to that any of the high-tech systems, if we tried to put them in, the cost would be over $200,000 for us to do 152 apartments. And that's a significant cost. This is your money. I have to spend your money wisely. This is not a smart move to do that for all the various reasons above. I'm sorry, the other ones that I forgot about were like the memory passwords. You'd have to remember what your password is to be able to get in. And if you forgot your password, you're not getting in and we don't have it. So you're sleeping in the hallway that night. Various reasons why a lot of the high-tech stuff just was not gonna work for us. Okay, so let's move past that. So, in my research, I found out some really interesting things. The locking system we have in our doors, in all of our doors actually, is the Schlage Everest system. It's an S145 system. That doesn't mean anything to you, but it is the second highest security lock that Schlage made 10 years ago when this building was built. It wasn't the top of the line, it was the second of the line. Well, what I found out from the locksmiths that I was talking with was that the Schlage Everest system has some really good technology in it that does not allow certain things to happen. One of them is, and this was actually brought up by a resident, somebody's got a bump key. They're using a bump key on our doors. Many of you don't know what a bump key is. I knew what it was. I just didn't think it was being used here, but a bump key is a specially designed key that you put in a lock and then you hit it 3 or 4 times with a hammer and it actually sets the pins in the right order to open the door. The Schlage lock will not allow it to happen. And the reason is the Schlage locks, the one we have now on all our doors, the Everest system has tumblers top and bottom. When they're top and bottom, the bump key doesn't work. It won't work in a dual setup the way these are designed. So that was really good to hear. And the second thing was, okay, well, the lock could be picked. We all see them on TV picking those door locks, right? And it takes them like 2 seconds and they're in the door. That actually could happen with some older, cheaper locks. Quite frankly, every locksmith I talked to said it would take them a minimum of 15 minutes to pick an Everest lock. They're very difficult to pick. That was good to hear. And again, what it is it boils down to, as I'm answering and asking all these questions, I'm learning and finding out and eliminating possibilities and really coming down to the fact that someone had in our building, and quite frankly, it could be a team member, it could be a resident, it could be a family member, it could be somebody I don't know who, could have a Grand Master. Okay? Grand Masters are keys that open every door in a building. We have very few of those in existence. Today as I speak, we have 7 Grand Master keys that are used by our senior people in here. Nobody else has those keys. And I'm going to talk more about how the key system works in here, but I wanted to make that point to you. And I'm also going to talk about what the new key management system is going to be in a month or so when we get all the new locks put in. So that was encouraging to at least hear that about the Everest system. And what I'm going to talk to you about is the Primus system, which is the top of the line Schlage system, and why I've decided that that's the way we're going to go. Oh, I'm already there. Okay, so Schlage makes now today a higher security technology key system. It's called Primus. It is the latest technology in keys.
It has various methods in it that obviously don't allow for bump keys. It doesn't allow for picking. They said with a Primus, it's gonna take me 25, 30 minutes to pick that lock. This is coming from experts. This is coming from locksmiths. They're very difficult because the new technology of that key, and when you guys get your new keys, you're gonna see it. It's really weird. It's got all the bumps along the top, but it's also got a whole row of bumps down the side. And it's also got a hole in the back side of it. And that's called a slide protector. So it's an additional layer on top of all the other technology in these keys. I was very impressed with it, and so was UCPD, the police department, the security guys. They're saying this is the best lock there is out there right now on the market. And there are a couple of other very important pieces to that I'm going to share with you in a second. First of all, let's talk about our current key system. It's been in place for 14 years. It is a good, high-quality product, and it's been good for years. We have had very few problems in this building in the first 12 years of our existence. Our problems have happened in the last couple of years with the thefts that occurred. So to that end, I also know that a lot of residents have given their apartment keys to their kids, their loved ones, said, oh, go make a copy of this key in my apartment. So I can tell you over the years of all the people that have moved in and moved out, there have been a lot of copies of keys made for various apartments in this building, not Grand Masters, but the key to various apartments. I really came to this conclusion with all of these conversations that I had that, quite frankly, it's time to change the entire key system in the building. It's not something that you easily come to a conclusion on, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But when we're dealing with safety and security for our residents and for our team members, it becomes a high value item. I've already had discussions with the chairman of the board. He absolutely, totally supports the process that we're going to go through. He believes in you being comfortable and secure in your homes, as I do. And so that's why we're taking this step. Just a little background so you know how our current key management system works, and it'll be the same going forward. Many of you have not been in behind the concierge desk, but there's an area back there with a counter, and up on the wall there's this huge, heavy steel cabinet. It's called KeyTrack. And this KeyTrack system allows us to manage the control of our keys for everything in the building. This key system requires someone who needs to get a key, first of all, to be able to have the permission to get that key. So every person who has access to the keys is identified. The system is programmed to tell it, you can only get these 3 keys out of all these 190 keys for all the different areas in our building. So they put their finger into the identifier. It reads their fingerprint. It actually takes a picture of them, and they identify the key that they want to take. Now, when they do that and they hit unlock, they get whatever keys have been programmed for them light up. A little light next to it lights up. Those are the only keys that are programmed for them to get. So they can get any one of those. Once they take that key out, we have a picture of them taking it out, the time it was taken out. Within 24 hours, if that key is not returned, there's an alarm that goes off at the concierge computer saying this key has not been returned. And we can just look and see who the person was that took the key out. So we have a really good key tracking system, a management of the keys as they come and go. Team members are not allowed to take keys home at night. They all check out the keys. They go back into KeyTrack when they come off shift. So again, we're maintaining that control also. The keys aren't leaving the building. And that's just a little background for you on what we've had in place, and obviously will continue to have in place. So now it gets down to, okay, the decision has been made to put in the Primus key system into 152 resident apartments. We're not changing out all the janitor's closets and all the common areas. That's not where our issue is. Our issue really is with resident apartments and providing your security. So 152 apartments are going to have their keys changed. Once we change the keys, some other things are going to happen. First of all staff, line staff, housekeepers, engineers, janitors, anybody else in the building with the exception of 5 people will not have access to your apartment. Nobody will have keys to your apartment. The housekeepers cannot come and open your apartment. The janitors can't come. Engineers cannot come and do a maintenance call in your apartment because they will not have a key. Nobody will have a key. Okay, let's make that really clear because there's going to be an issue you're going to have to deal with. That's part of the whole new security plan. There are very few people, and I'm not identifying them, senior people that need to have a Grand Master. There's less than we have now. There's only going to be 5 people I just mentioned that will have a Grand Master. Those are key holders. They're the only ones that are allowed to have a Grand Master. There are no more section keys in the building, which is what we do now. When housekeepers work in the east wing, 4th floor, they get a key, a group of section keys for that section. They use them, they return them and put them back in the key track at night. That's how it's been all along. Well, that's going away. They won't even have those. Nobody will have access to your apartment except for the 5 people that are key holders. What that's going to mean is that on the day of your housekeeping and the time of your housekeeping, or an appointment made for a maintenance request, you're going to need to be at your apartment. You're going to need to be there to unlock the door for that person, and you're going to need to be there when they're finished to lock the door. It's going to be your responsibility because they will not have access and they cannot lock your door when they're done. So you can unlock the door, you can go have coffee, or you can stay there while the house is being cleaned, and then lock the door afterwards. Or if it's a maintenance appointment, you need to be sure you're there to unlock it for the engineer to come in and perform whatever it is that's needed. The reason we do have to have identified key holders in the building is because we are required to enter your apartment in an emergency. So we have people that will have that key. Those 5 people I mentioned will have that key. They are the only ones who will have access to your apartment. So this is going to be a little bit of an inconvenience for the residents, but we are trying to make this process as strict as possible to take advantage of the fact that I'm about to spend $70,000 to $80,000 in this process. This is not cheap. It's better than $200,000, but I firmly believe that what we're doing will solve any of the problems that we have going on now and going on in the future. It not only protects you, the residents, and your property and your home, but quite frankly, it also protects the team members. It takes the target off their back. The team members are, as you know, always the first one that fingers are pointed at. And we need to eliminate that. So we need to not let them have access to your apartments. So that's what the process is going to be going forward. I just authorized the quote. I have to get quotes from a couple of different locksmiths for this process, but I've authorized that. I should see them by the end of the week. Both of them have told me that with our current lock system, the Schlage system, they have to order all of the cylinders. They have to prep all the keys and the cylinders in their shops before they set a date to come out. Once they have everything prepped and ready, then they'll set a date, and they expect that it would take no more than 2 days to change all these locks. The procedure is apparently quite fast with the current Everest system we have, changing it over to the Primus system. So we're looking at a total period, and it'll be a little confusing there because we're going to be in 2 days moving you all section by section through to a new set of keys. You will get 2 keys to your apartment. Let's be clear about that. There's going to be 2 keys that are going to be issued to you. Now here's the extremely important part you need to understand. Those keys are not able to be duplicated by anybody. They can't be duplicated by any locksmith. except the locksmith who was installing the system. This is a Schlage requirement. He's certified, he's bonded. He has the only masters to make new keys. He will not make a new key for anybody unless it's authorized by me. So no key will ever be duplicated, whether it's a Grand Master or if it's an apartment key. So any of you that are thinking that you can go get another copy to give to your kids, it won't happen because nobody will be able to duplicate this key. This is a big part of the Primus system that I like. You can't go to any locksmith and get a copy, okay? And you can't go to him and get a copy because he won't give it to you unless he's contacted me and I give him permission for it. It's just another layer of that security which has got me sold on this system, okay? You don't want to lose the key. They're going to be expensive to replace and you're going to have to pay for it if you lose the key. You will have two keys, but you need to be really careful with them and hold on to them because you'll have to pay for it. If we have to get a replacement, I'll authorize it. But again, it's going to be expensive. These keys are very complicated. And again, he's the only guy that can do this.
Got a question over here.
I'll answer questions in a minute. Let me get through all of this. I know it's a very complicated conversation. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can so you understand, first of all, why I made this decision, where we're at with all the research that's been done, and why I think it actually is the best solution for Acacia Creek.
And I'm gonna applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, you guys, you gotta understand, this has been heartbreak for me, and for the team going through what we've gone through in the last couple of years. And I vowed that I would find a solution to it. And I vowed that it would be a solution that would work for us, not just now, but in the future and down the road. Again, with two thoughts in mind, first of all, your security and comfort in your home, but also the ability to be able to protect our team members from constant allegations. Whether true or not, there's never been any proof. If there was, I would have had them fired and arrested. So just know that. I actually have done that in the past in a couple of buildings in my 25 years. And I have no compunction to do that if we ever have the evidence and the grounds to prove it. Duplication, hold on a second.
Chuck, there's a question.
Huh? Yeah, let me finish this and then you guys can ask me questions. It's a lot of information. I want to make sure I get it all out to you. Okay, I'll talk about cameras in a minute. That's basically it about the Primus system, about the key cylinder changeover that's going to happen. I'm guessing, well, I'm not going to guess. It depends on how long it takes for him to get this order from the factory, because actually with 152 keys, and actually he'll get a couple of extra cylinders in case we have problems. It's a factory order, so he couldn't give me an exact time, but he's going to talk to the factory about what is the timing on getting this in. And then once it's in and he is able to, he and his team get all these things programmed and ready. So I'll give you updates as we move along this process. I'm fairly certain this is something that will end up happening within the next couple of months. We'll have the entire building changed over. Okay. Question?
Yeah, Chuck, well, just to clarify, with this new system, the caregivers and emergency personnel will still be able, I hope, to have access to our apartment in the event someone falls, someone has a stroke, someone has an emergency.
Yeah,
They'll be able to get in and help you.
that's a pretty obvious one, sure. The question is, do caregivers have a key to your apartment? Yes. The caregiver on duty has a set of keys and their pager for your pendants. That set of keys and that pendant are changed between each caregiver when they do their crossover at the end of shift. At the end of every shift, the caregivers sit down with the oncoming shift. They talk about everything that's happened during the shift. They give them updates on the residents, and they change over the keys. So it's just a common practice, and yes, obviously they would have a key. I'm not gonna identify the other people that are involved, but I can tell you that it's a senior team, and they're the only ones of the 5. The caregiver is one of the 5 people that will have a grandmaster. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, and quite frankly, I have to make extra keys for all the Knox boxes outside, because the fire department's required to have that key. Knox boxes are outside, those black boxes you see on the side of our walls by the doors. Fire department have a key to those, and those have grandmasters in them. So we do have to make sets of those, and that's how the fire department can get in rather than take their access to our glass front door. So we kind of like that. Well, yeah, they need access, and they need access to the apartments. Usually the caregiver's already there and the apartment's open, but we're required by law to have that available for them. Dan?
Question, would you address the dog issue where the outside doors are being propped open while people walk the dog?
Sure, yeah, it's the same old issue. The comment is, can we talk about the fact that people are leaving rocks out, opening stairwell doors and leaving the rocks there and leaving the doors open? 13 years I've been sitting here saying this to everybody. We ask that you don't do that. The stairwells have been locked since the pandemic. We don't plan on unlocking them. The access is into the building through the lobby, but we have folks that go out the side doors, and I'm not going to blame the dog owners on this. There's other people that do it too, to get their grocery bags from their car parked by the curb to bring them in. I've seen that. Quite frankly, you don't have permission to do that. I'm not giving you permission to do it. But if you're going to go ahead and violate our policies, I sure to hell hope you'd kick the rock away and close the door, because you're violating our security.
Absolutely.
Okay? And that's just flat out there for everybody who's doing that. We know it happens. We keep asking for it not to happen, and it still happens 13 years later. So I can't say anything more than that. It's just, we want security in our building. We try to do what we can to maintain security. It's a very large building, folks. This is like living in a hotel. And there are hundreds of people coming through here every day. Family members, vendors, guests, kids of residents, all of it. It's a lot of people that move through this building. And even though they sign in, the concierge looks at them, you know, it's not a perfect system to have total control. That's why you need to lock your doors. Please lock your doors. I can tell you, quite frankly, I said this as a joke, and I went down the hallway one day and did it. I shook every door, and I found half of them to be unlocked. So, you know, there's got to be a two-way street here. You guys have got to help us with your security. You got to lock the doors. They don't lock automatically. You have to turn the key and lock your door. And it doesn't happen. I can attest to it. It doesn't happen. So you got to work with us. You got to help us. Okay. The new locks that are coming are going to be the same way. They're manual. You have to lock them from the outside as you leave. And quite frankly, I like that. The main reason I like that is because if we had doors that locked automatically, like most of the high-tech locks are automatic, you don't have to manually lock them. We'd be answering 150 lockout calls every day. I mean, we do it now half a dozen times a month. So imagine, think of those 4 or 5 people running around this building answering call outs. So yeah, it's a two-way street. I'm gonna say it again for everybody too, and you've heard me say it before. We have locked drawers in the apartments. If you do not have a locked drawer in your apartment, you've got to let us know so we can put a new lock on that drawer in your bathroom. If you've got very expensive jewelry, you need to put it in that drawer and lock it.
What drawer?
If you need another drawer, we'll put another lock on another drawer. Ours. We won't put locks on your furniture. That's against our policy. We're not allowed to do that. But if you want to put a lock on it, you can have a locksmith come out and do that. Some people have safes. Perfectly smart thing to do. If you've got you know, thousands and thousands of dollars in jewelry. You shouldn't have it laying in your jewelry box. You should have it in the safe. But the locked drawers help a lot. And I can tell you unequivocally, guaranteed, we have not had a locked drawer broken open in this building. So there is an advantage to that bit of security, locked drawers. If you've got something that's valuable, put it in there. It's easy to get to with your keys. I can also tell you that now every new resident coming in has to actually sign for those keys, and they are shown how to open the drawer by Denise as they're going through the apartment orientation. So they know it's there, they've signed for the keys and said, yes, I do have keys, yes, it works, and they know what the purpose is to put their expensive jewelry in there. It's not big enough to put all your costume jewelry in, but that's not stuff that we're seeing disappear, okay? Question?
Yes. Will you have special locks on the doors that are outside go to the staircases? Will those doors have those special locks on them also?
You talking about the stairwell doors?
Yeah.
The question is, are we changing the locks on the stairwell doors? No, we're not. No, I'm not concerned with that. Quite frankly, they are the Everest locks like will have and do have on all of our spots now. And again, you can't use a bump key on it. You're not going to have a master key on it. You can't use a pick to get in, or you could, but we're going to catch you on the camera sooner or later. So I'm not worried about those. My main concern right now, and spending the money right now, is to secure your homes. That's all I'm concerned with at this point. I'm not concerned with the stairwells, I'm not concerned with janitor's closets, et cetera, et cetera. Not concerned with my office because there is nothing of any value in there. Except me. Okay, question? Yes, Carol?
If we have to be present when maintenance comes to do something, does that mean that we are going to be making set appointments with maintenance now? Usually they just come when they're ready.
Yes, the question is, do we have to make an appointment for maintenance? Yes, you do. Often we've tried to do that in the past and haven't been very strong about it because we do try to move on your maintenance requests as fast as we can. This bit of inconvenience that's involved in this entire plan is for security, is for you to make an appointment to have an engineer come to your apartment to fix whatever it is you need fixed. And that, yes, you have to be there to unlock the door and be there with them. Whether you stay there the whole time or not, or you do have to come back and lock your door, we're putting the onus of security in that vein on you guys. You need to be locking your doors. You need to be locking them before and after housekeeping, before and after any maintenance visits, and certainly any time you leave your apartment. Okay? I know that is the most inconvenient piece of it for you. But again, I think we're trying to partner this situation and solve it. And we can't do it unless you guys help us out. Sophie?
Yeah, so if you have to let the person in to your apartment, that means you're gonna have to hang around until they leave so that you can lock it behind them.
The question is, if you have to be there to open it, do you have to hang around with them and then lock it at the end? No. No, you can unlock the door, allow the housekeeper in. You can go have coffee, you can go do whatever you want, and a lot of people are comfortable doing that. And then you know typically how long it takes for them to clean your apartment, then you come back and you lock your apartment, or you go back inside your apartment, either way. The onus on you is to unlock your apartment and then relock it when it's done, whatever the issue is done. Okay? Yes?
I've had an idea that when you have family or somebody coming and they go to the concierge, that they would call you and then you come down there and take them to your apartment so that there isn't people in here that are not family or your friends.
You're talking about an outside vendor?
Or just somebody outside that's coming in.
Yeah, somebody outside coming in to see you, we don't send them to your apartment. Typically, you should be coming down. The concierge is gonna call you and maybe you say, yeah, it's okay, and then the concierge would direct them up to your apartment. Somebody from the outside that's doing something that you've asked them to come and do. But we don't give that information out unless we've called you first, and that we know that. It's like we don't give out your phone numbers, we don't give out your apartment numbers to anybody.
But I was just talking about family.
Well, family should know where you're living,
Well, I know that, but it was the idea that,
or they should be living here.
I hope not. No, I was just thinking.
No, the family needs to check in. Any visitors
know
that
that.
come, need to sign in
Yeah.
so that we know who's in the building, and then they can go to your apartment. We assume you know they're coming. And the good news is that the concierges are pretty sharp. They pretty much know most of the people that are coming and going, that come and go on a regular basis, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, questions over here? How about the what? Oh, I'm not done with this yet. Calm down. I'll get to you. I'm running out of time though.
Are the guest rooms going to have special keys, special locks?
Yeah, the guest rooms, all 152 apartments will have special locks on them. The guest rooms will have the special locks, and for the housekeepers to be able to get in and clean them when the guest has signed out, the housekeeper has to go to the concierge and get that set of keys that the guest used to be able to get in to clean it.
So if the guest loses their key, forgets to turn it in, then they get charged?
You as the resident, the resident whose name is on that reservation would be the one who would get the bill. We've never lost any guest keys. The guests are very good about either leaving them in their apartment or bringing them to the concierge and checking out. So that's never been an issue. And if it is an issue and we end up losing keys, then we would change the cylinder and get a new set of keys from our locksmith. But the way we're protecting the guest rooms is that we are now, when we get into the system, housekeepers have to go to the concierge to get those same set of keys to get into the apartment to do the cleaning and then take the call. And that's why we're going after it. Yes, they've had a few, but not what we've had in the last 2 years. And in the last 2 years, when I say that, remember the numbers that we're talking about. We're talking about 9 cases. The most recent one would be the 10th case in 2 years, since 2022. Prior to 2022, I have two reports in all those years from 2010 until 2022. So it's been in the last 2 years that this has been going on, and it's like 3 or 4 months, 5 months before an incident gets reported. So there's stretches between these, which makes it really difficult. And we don't have good timelines on them. Quite frankly, the timelines for some of these are, well, I haven't seen that ring since I wore it for Christmas last year at the dinner. No, I haven't seen that necklace for 3 or 4 or 5 months. This makes it really difficult for us to look at our cameras to try to figure anything out, just because of the length of time involved in these timelines. Most of them are pretty crazy. 2 of them were resolved, and I'm going to bring this point up because everybody who's listening, you need to pay attention. Number 1 is one of the cases we cleared was because during the interview process that I do, I contacted the daughter of the resident, and the daughter had taken the jewelry home for safekeeping. The second one that was cleared was because it was a private companion that was hired by a daughter in San Mateo from an agency to stay with her mother who had a stroke here, and was with the mother for 5 months. And over that period of time, a lot of things went missing. Not recognized by the resident who had gone through a stroke until later on when she realized what was missing, and we did a search and we started looking at it all. Worked with Union City PD on that, and worked with San Mateo PD on that one. I don't actually know what the end result was. We did identify the person, and I know that they had all that information. But the reason I'm bringing that story up for all of you, please listen. We have validated companion care agencies that we have vetted and that we know have gone through criminal history checks, that we've had good relationships, that they respond well and they work well with you guys. Please don't just go to some willy-nilly company or companion care out there and bring somebody in. It's very hard for us to grab them and identify them. We have a whole entire process for how we vet these people who come in our buildings. Often we get people just hire somebody and we don't even know who they are. And they can come in and they can sign in and they go, but there's no identification. So if you have the need for companion care where someone comes in for a few hours once a week or twice a week or for whatever, it's obviously something we can't do with our caregivers, and so we allow companion care to happen. Please don't just hire some willy-nilly out there. Talk to Nina. We have agencies who we trust and have been vetted and have been here for a long time. And we know that there's not going to be any residual issues with that. So don't just go hire somebody like this daughter did, because it cost her mom a lot. Okay? That was a side note from that, but yeah. Any more questions? I'll talk quickly about cameras because I'm over time. Okay, so the second half of this plan, okay, yeah.
One thing, I think you don't know how many people have been robbed, because just today, somebody says, well, I didn't tell them because it happened a couple of months ago and I figured they couldn't get it back. So I didn't.
Yeah, so the comment is, do you know how many of these incidents occurred? No, actually I don't, because we know of at least 4 or 5 that were never reported by the resident. And this is what Bill has talked about with you all, and it's gonna be in a letter that the resident council is gonna put out, that we ask you to please report anything that's missing, because if we can't file a report and get any kind of identification on the item, even if it's something that was missed a year ago, we can take that information and the police can put it in their state computer. And when you see these things on news where they break down a fencing operation, they go to that computer, they're running all this stuff looking for identifying information to be able to return the property to the owner. If we don't file the report, there's no opportunity for anything to happen. So please, if you do find that you have jewelry missing, and you need to come talk to me so I can fill out a report. Whether or not it has identifying information on it or not. Some of you may have renter's insurance. Again, there's a lot of renter's insurance that covers jewelry. And we're talking about expensive jewelry. I'm not talking about the TikTok box jewelry. Hopefully you might have appraisals, you might have pictures. I would be asking you all those questions. But yes, I do know for a fact that there are unreported cases out there. The ones I know about, there's like I said, there's 4 or 5 that I know about. Okay, and it's something that the council will be urging you to also, to please contact me, get a report, and then we want you to do a police report, because the police won't take the report from us. They have to take it from you, and actually you can do it on the phone, or there's going to be a website information in their letter, okay, to be able to file a report and get a case number and give it to me, because I need the case number for the state report that I fill out. Okay, you're going to be getting that letter not too distant future from the council. I'm not sure when, maybe next week. Okay, cameras, the last one quickie. Sorry, I'm over, but this is a really important conversation. I want you guys to hear what we're doing and what's going on. And we'll keep you apprised as we get more information on how the process works. Last thing is cameras. We've started looking at cameras. We are not as deep into that because I felt the locks were a lot more important than the cameras. But I've been able to identify locales in hallways from the installation of our Sarah system, where we have electrical outlets halfway down the hallways, each leg. If you've noticed, we have hallways that have legs that jig and zag down. Very difficult to put cameras in that will work well for us. But in the middle of each one of the legs, there's an outlet. And in that outlet, it provides the electricity for us to be able to put in wireless cameras shooting in both directions. gives us a much better close-up picture of each half of the hallway, rather than one that's shooting all the way down the entire hallway where we probably couldn't even see what apartment they're going into. So with that advantage, now that we've located that, we're starting to look at cameras that we can install wireless, because to run cable in this building for all of them would be a humongous amount of money. So we're looking at wireless cameras, much like a couple that we have in place now that work just fine. But we have to have electricity for them, and we're fortunate that that whole Sarah project we did gave us outlets in the middle of every hallway. So that's our next one we're working on, to be able to get those cameras up in the hallways. That'll help us out. So that's a quickie on the cameras. I'll give you more as we go through the process of identifying the best ones to put in the hallways. John?
Yes, I've got a safety issue. On elevator number 2, that bar that goes across the back,
Yeah?
it's really loose, and somebody's gonna grab a hold of it and
Okay.
have an accident.
Yeah, did you call the desk?
I called, I told everybody,
Elevator 2?
elevator number 2.
Okay. We can probably tighten it up ourselves. Those are Allen wrenches.
Whatever.
Anything else before we got a couple of quick announcements here? Okay, Carol? Bell choir? Bell choir? Did you want to talk about the bell choir? I know you did. You still want to?
Good afternoon. Would you raise your hand if you heard the bell choir years ago? Oh, a couple of people. Then would you, each of you, go talk to a new person and tell them how calm and pleasant and what a nice sound it was and so forth. Do that, would you please? Also, you all know for sure that music helps math. I don't think anybody disagrees with that, right? Well, I was on a study that does music help reading, and it does. There's many other studies after the one I did about how music helps reading. Your brain improves every time you work with a lot of music. Okay, so you just received a little flyer about the bell choir. Some of you have already sent in. I have 6 members already. I need 12 for a full chorus. But if you already put one in, you don't need to. I have yours, okay? But you don't need to know music. You have this hand and this hand. This has a C or this has a D, and you bring them. Then you have 2 bells down here, a C sharp, maybe a D flat. And you can ring 2 at a time. That's all it is, just 2 bells at a time. So, sign up, sign up. I have 6 people already. Let's have a few more. Come and join us. We need 12. And it would be nice to have 1 or 2 substitutes in case somebody has a doctor's appointment or something. We will rehearse every week, Saturday morning at 9:30. And I'm trying to find a really cool place to rehearse. So look in your box and sign up, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. And actually, I have a volunteer. Tom Wicker is joining the bell choir. Hey. Thank you for that, Tom. You're just really up to it all tonight. You can't turn your back on me. I wasn't going to get you out of it. Linda, you had a quickie?
Thank you, and I just wanted to remind everybody we have a Back in the Day next Monday at 3 o'clock, and David Goodman is going to take us to Uganda. And I heard a bit of it, last night at dinner, and it's really fascinating. So I encourage you all to come here to the Turkey Roost, 3 o'clock on Monday, and we'll go to Uganda.
I love it. You're going to Casablanca tomorrow, French Morocco, then you're going to Uganda. You guys are like moving around. All right, we're done. I'm sorry for running over. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jim.